Good afternoon. Thanks for sharing your lunch hour with me. I appreciate it. Hopefully we'll get some exciting stuff out of this, and I won't bore you to sleep, and you won't have to have an afternoon nap. So I'm Chris Piercy with Horner Express Backyard Expo, and we specialize in everything that's not a swimming pool. So outdoor kitchens, fire features, patio shade structures, decking materials, and some hopefully some exciting new stuff that we're going to talk about today. So without further ado, I'm just going to start my little presentation, and we'll see how it goes. And I guess some housekeeping things, if you would, I'm sure we'll have some time at the end to ask questions. So you can just use the chat or the chat box there to type in your questions. And Lewis will read them to us, and I'll try to answer them the best that I can. So let's see how this goes. That. Do this. All right, so I think you can see my screen now. I'm assuming that you can. So who's ready to sell outdoor living, and why would you want to? Is anyone out there seeing a lot more people coming through the doors this year than last year?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, the chat is disabled.
Oh, well, just
The host has disabled the chat.
well.
Okay, I'll take care of that.
There you go. He's our man. Thanks for letting us know.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you. And Bernice says no camera, no microphone. Is that you talking to me, Bernice? You're talking to yourself?
No, Chris, your camera, everything is good.
Okay, cool. So anyway, is anyone out there seeing more people calling on the telephone or sending leads to information to your websites about, are you seeing more or less activity this year than you did last year? Well, I think we all know the answer to that. Yeah, we all know the answer to that. Definitely less. And, probably not going to be more for a while. We all enjoyed 2020 and 2021, 2022, although at the beginning of the COVID pandemic, everyone was freaked out, right? Remember how you thought to yourself, oh my God, what are we going to do? No one's going to, leave their house. We're going to be hiding out in their closets. They're not going to spend any money. The world's coming to an end. But it turned out that wasn't the case, at least for us in the pool industry. Turned out that, the past couple of years were the best ever. So who would have thunk it, right? Well, I think we're back to the new normal now, the new reality, whatever you want to call it. We're back to 2019 type of sales and production and interest when we were experiencing, a weird phenomenon. So how are we going to get, more business and keep our businesses the way that we want them to be? We got to think about new things that we can do, right? So we got to try to make every lead and every job count. So how do you do that? Well, number one is you do a really good job in the sales process and you close the sale. And then when you close the sale, you can even talk about selling bigger projects to gain more revenue. And how do you sell bigger projects? Do you just put a lot more stuff in the swimming pool? Or do you think about what else you could potentially sell this customer who has entrusted you to at least talk to them about this project? So what are some other things that you can sell them? Well, you can sell them outdoor kitchens. You can sell them some patio shade structures. You can sell them some expensive and new and modern and cool decking products like artificial turf and other new decking products, which we'll talk about in a while. So the main thing to this slide is to think beyond your current mindset. You got to get rid of your own head trash. And what do I mean by that? A lot of times, human nature is we kind of do what we do and we get focused on what we do and we don't see outside of those blinders. So the idea here is to open up your mind, expand on what you can do, know what there is to offer, and don't be afraid to offer it. So by doing that, you get to sell more larger value projects and make more profit on every job. And that's the whole key here, is to make more profit so you continue doing what you do. Here's one thing that you could sell to make more profit and sell more bigger jobs. That's outdoor kitchens. So the great news about outdoor kitchens is people actually want them. I know, go figure, right? Last year, there was over 2 billion Google searches. It's a lot. 71 million views on TikTok with a video that had something to do with an outdoor kitchen. 500,000 Instagram hashtags, whatever that means. I think that means people are like kind of interested in learning more about outdoor kitchens. So the good news is people want them. According to Forbes magazine, outdoor kitchens are seeing a strong design trend in modern homes. Outdoor kitchens are currently topping the American Institute of Architectural's top project trend list. That was a mouthful. So this is largely due to more outdoor advancements than ever before. And since COVID, a lot more people are spending time and money at home and in their homes. An outdoor kitchen is a great addition to any outdoor space. So sell the people something that the people want. How easy is that? Well, it is real easy, but it can be kind of a major pain depending on how you're actually doing the installation / construction. This is certainly one way that you can build an outdoor kitchen, and this is using concrete blocks. So basically you're building a little building outside. And certainly using concrete blocks, this is a outdoor kitchen cabinet that's going to last forever. However, it is definitely a major construction project. There's some specialty trades and some permitting involved. It can be a rather lengthy and certainly a little pretty messy installation and construction project. The positive is that it's a relatively low cost of material because concrete blocks don't cost very much, but it's a very high cost of time and labor. So most people don't do this type of construction. There's others out there, and this is the most common. We call it the unreliable option, and that's kind of probably a little harsh because it can work just fine if your contractor, this guy here, is a good dude, and if he's a good dude, he does good work, and he shows up, and with a clear head and clear mind all the time, it can work out really, really well. But the challenge can be if there's ever an issue, and the homeowner has an issue with whatever, the homeowner doesn't know who this guy is. They know who they wrote the check to, which is you. And sometimes you might not even know who this guy is. So that can be a problem. So this is a construction method where we use either steel or aluminum studs that you buy at the hardware store or building supply. You come out and build it on site, skin it with a concrete board. It's certainly one way of doing it. And as I said, it can be good or bad, just depending on the quality of this guy. There are some companies that still make outdoor kitchen cabinetry out of wood. We don't think that's a very reliable way of doing it at all. Wood outside is not great. Wood around a grill, also not a great idea. So this is certainly better than wood, but we think there's a better way, which is a factory-built custom kitchen. So this is the most reliable option in our opinion. And this is where it is a factory-built custom project. So factory-built means it's built at a factory. And some of the benefits to that is there's actually quality control in place. The thing is made the same way every time. The installation process is much less time-wise because everything is already done. Basically, the cabinet gets set in place and the appliances get dropped in, and then some finish work is done. So at the bottom of the slide are examples of two completed outdoor kitchens. And the top you can see left is a picture inside the factory coming down the production line. And then this is top right is just how it shows up at the job site. So let's go and see a little bit more about the factory built custom kitchen. So this cabinetry is made by a company in Tampa. It's called Captiva, EKA. And it is a very well built cabinetry. It's built to last. It has a sealed bottom and it has an interior floor. So when you open up the cabinet doors and you look inside the cabinet, it's going to look like your kitchen cabinet. You can actually use it for outdoor storage. You're not going to look down and see dirt or see pavers. The inside is all fit and finished. It's painted inside with an antimicrobial, anti-corrosive finish material. So it's super, super nice, and it has a lifetime structural warranty. You think the guy we looked at before gives you a lifetime structural warranty or any type of warranty? I think he gives a taillight warranty. As soon as you don't see his taillights anymore, you don't have any warranty. I don't know. Just saying. So here's some more pictures of the inside of the cabinet. As I said, it has a nice fit and finished interior that's painted with that antimicrobial, anti-corrosive material. So you can actually use it for storage. And this is the installation process. Remember I said that the concrete blocks can take, it's a very long installation process. These built on site metal framing, it can be a couple day process. Well, the factory built cabinetry is about an hour installation process. So let's see if we can make this video work, and I'll show you basically how it happens. So did everyone see that? I hope. Yes. Yes. I was involved with this particular installation, and you saw that the cabinet came already built from the factory. All the appliance cutouts are already done. So the installation process is basically moving it from the point of drop off to the point of final destination, then doing some leveling, then dropping the appliances in. This particular project, the homeowner wanted a travertine tile. There's a big 24-inch by 24-inch travertine tiles and a solid granite slab. So that was done after the cabinet was in place. The installation of the cabinet and the appliances took about 45 minutes. Obviously, it took a little bit longer to add the finishes to it, but it was a pretty quick and easy installation process. So you're not lingering around the job site for multiple days. And when I say you, it's really us. With our program, you can do the installation if you'd like to, but we have subcontractors set up around the state that will do the installation for you. So from the factory, you can get it with a natural stone tile countertop, or we also offer it with a solid piece of granite. If we're doing one with a solid granite countertop, the cabinet gets set in place and the appliances get put in. The actual countertop then gets templated by a local granite provider. The fabrication process is about a week. So the cabinet's going to be sitting there without a countertop for approximately a week, and then the countertop gets installed by the local granite supplier. You can also get it with acrylic texture on the cabinetry or a natural stone veneer on the outside of the cabinetry. Obviously, the pricing is a little different. The veneer is more expensive than the acrylic texture. And also the solid granite countertop is a little bit more expensive than a tile countertop. Of course, we'll get into all those specifics, when we talk to you more about pricing and such. basically, I'm just trying to give some broad strokes, so showing you how easy this can be. So what? Who cares? I think this is my favorite one. So, all you pool builders out there, when you sell an $80,000 pool package, approximately how much profit are you making? I'll ask this question a lot and I get some varying answers, but most people say between 8 and 10% by the time it's all said and done. Maybe less. So I just said as a broad stroke, 10% profit on $80,000 is $8,000, right? All you mathematicians out there got that one right away, I'm sure. $80,000. But what if something goes wrong? Never happens with swimming pool construction. Never. How much aggravation, coordination, scheduling did it take to get that $80,000? This is a big one. How much money did you extend to your subs and your suppliers, like Horner Express, before the project was completed? Right? It's a lot of money coming in, but it's a lot of money going out before most of the money comes in. So that can be a little bit of a cash flow challenge for your business. How long did it take to get that $8,000 profit? I don't know what your particular, business is as far as the lead times or the project times for swimming pool construction. But if I said 6 months, that's probably a pretty fast installation for most of us. So what if you sold a $15,000 outdoor kitchen? Wonder what your profit would look like. Well, if you sell it at the pricing that we suggest, it's going to be a 33% profit margin versus 10%. That's about almost $5,000 on a $15,000 project versus $8,000 on an $80,000 project. And with an outdoor kitchen, someone else built it because it's built at a factory. Someone else can install it. It doesn't leak and never turns green. People want it. It doesn't cave in. The rain doesn't delay it. And if you have a account with Horner Express, terms account, you can pay for it in 30 days. So you don't have to pay for it until you get paid from your customer. Get your profit in a couple weeks versus many, many months. And I say a couple weeks only because once we receive an order from you, it takes about 3 weeks in the production process for the cabinetry to be manufactured, and then we do the installation. So there you go, a smiley face or a frowny face. What if you did something crazy, like you didn't sell an $80,000 pool, you sold them a $65,000 pool, but you added a $15,000 outdoor kitchen. So it's still $80,000, right? So you still get the same gross revenue, but it's a better deal for you because you get 10% on the kitchen and you get $5,000 on the kitchen. Sorry, you get $66,500 on the pool at 10%. You get about $5,000 on the outdoor kitchen for a total of 11 grand versus the pool only, which was $8,000. So it's additional $3,500 on every pool project. Wow. How smart are you? Make more money for every deal. And we try to make it easy. And we put together these basic packages that says if you sold someone this model right here, which is called the Key West, for example, it's going to be a 7-foot cabinet. It's going to have a 32-inch grill. It's going to have some access doors underneath it. It's going to have a refrigerator. And we suggest you sell that for $7,500 to the homeowner. And that is going to get you about 30% gross profit. So about $2,000 on this particular example. And if we went ahead and tried to make it even easier, that $7,500 is going to come with the acrylic exterior on the cabinet, and a natural stone tile countertop, like you see here. If they wanted to upgrade and do a stone veneer on the face, it's going to add about $1,700 to this particular price. So you take the $7,500 and now it's going to be $8,200 because we're adding the stone veneer. If they wanted to add a solid granite countertop, like you see over here, then it's about $1,000 more than the tile. And these prices, by the way, do include our subcontractors doing the basic installation, which is setting the cabinetry in place, putting the appliances in, doing any minor finishing work. The things that we don't do are we do not do gas, plumbing, or electrical because we're not certified to do any of that. Okay. So that is super, super easy. Anyone can sell an outdoor kitchen and people want them. So why don't you sell them? Because maybe you've never tried. So don't be afraid to try. We've hopefully taken all the pain away. We try to make this as turnkey and as foolproof as possible. Been doing it for quite a long time. Know all the ins and outs. We'll help guide you through it. If you need our assistance on the first couple sales, first couple installations, we're going to be there for you. So we are at your beck and call. Now, we did these packages that we put together to try to make it really, really simple. And if someone says, yeah, I really like a 7-foot model, there it is, that's perfect. I'd like to give you $7,500. When can you deliver it? You should say, great, give me the money. It can be there in about 3 weeks and you should move on. However, a lot of times people say, well, I want something that's really custom, something that's going to fit my space exactly. Well, we can do that too. Here's some examples of some specific custom fitting situations where this one has to go between some posts and right in between, this is not very deep, so it had to fit exactly. So, it's a little bit narrower than it would typically be. Here's a really great example of a real typical new home situation where the homeowner purchased a new home from the home builder. Home builder wanted, crazy money, $50,000 or whatever it was to add an outdoor kitchen. The homeowner said, no, thank you, but I will, spend $1,500 for the plumbing package. So you can see that that's what the homeowner did. And they have the stub outs for the sink here. They have a vent here. They have some power. They have a gas line, but this is where the sliding door is. And if we put a cabinet right here, because that's where the plumbing is, getting out of the sliding door is not going to be the best. So what can you do? Well, we made this really cool little false wall, basically, just to hide the plumbing. So as soon as the plumbing came in the cabinet, we did a elbow and took it straight down to where the sink was going to go. So they're still able to get out of their door. Turned out to be a nice little storage area, shelf there as well. So that's pretty cool. So this is a totally custom factory built outdoor kitchen. You can see this is our little false wall. It's also wrapped around a post. This is also a retractable screen, so it has to have the right clearance for the screen to go down. This particular one has a farmhouse sink, so pretty cool, right? Right. And when it is a custom piece like that, you can provide us a 3D drawing, from Pool Studio or Cocktail Napkin Sketch like this one, and we are going to do a drawing and send it back to you. This is what we want to have your consumer sign off on. And once that sign off is completed, then it takes about 3 weeks for production and delivery, and you get your money and everybody's happy. We even have a quoting tool on our website, and it's all drop down menu. So you kind of just enter the quantity of the cabinetry in linear feet, and you tell it what grills and what appliances you want. And then it'll do a grand total for you at the bottom and showing you what you should sell that to the homeowner for. And again, of course, myself or any of the Horner sales team can help walk you through that quoting tool as well. So that's one thing you can do, right? Sell outdoor kitchens. What's something else you could sell that could be installed by somebody else? Well, how about patio shade structures? You sell it, we provide it, we deliver it. We have subcontractors available to do installation. We even have some marketing materials already done for you. Over on the left is a marketing template that you just insert your logo and your telephone number here and spread the word that you want to sell people outdoor patio structures. In your case, if you're already selling pools and you're already in your backyard, maybe this marketing piece isn't that big of an advantage for you. But if you're out there trying to drum up new business, this is pretty cool. So Renaissance Patio was founded about 10 years ago by a guy in the home improvement industry who was a patio screen guy, basically, and was building patio shade structures on site out of standard aluminum, screen rooms. So any of your screen contractors can certainly build one of these. A lot of them don't want to do it because they're so busy doing doing what they do. And a lot of times when it's built on site, it's not really designed and thought out. So this is actually a program where they came up with some engineering and some set pieces and some structure to it. So quality is really, really superior. And I'm just going to walk you through the line. There are different models based on basically the style and the roofing structure. And, they range in price from based on how much material is involved. So this is called the Moderno, and it's a very, very basic structure. It is an elite style roof, meaning it's insulated roof panel. It doesn't have any trusses going back to the house. So it's very, very basic. All these structures are available as a freestanding unit, as you can see here, or an attached unit. You also can add screen enclosure to it if you like. So this is the Moderno. It's going to be the least expensive model. The next step up from that is called a Contempo. The Contempo looks very similar, but now we're just adding some some decorative trusses at the end or the outside. So it's going to cost a little bit more because it has these little decorative features. Again, you can do it as a freestanding unit or attached to a house structure. It's also available with a curved truss or straight truss. So curved trusses cost a little bit more than a straight, not a lot, but a little bit more. This is the next step up, which is the most expensive one they offer. It's called the Classico, designed to look like a wooden structure. The Classico has trusses that run all the way back to the post structure or, from post to post. So this is going to be the most expensive because it has the most material involved. Let me point out something else to you as well. This particular one has what they call two fan beams in it. And a fan beam really isn't a beam exactly. It's just where they run a conduit or a opening through the insulated roof panel so you can run your wiring and such to power a fan or a light. You could also install the fan right on the actual truss itself because they're hollow. So you could run your wiring through the truss if you wanted to. So they give you a couple options. And this one is my favorite one. It's called the Classico. I think it's my favorite just because it's kind of unique. The Classico has a clear polycarbonate roof panel. So it lets 70% of the light raise the light through, but it prevents UVA, UVC rays from coming through. So it keeps it about 30% cooler underneath there. So the benefit is it's still light underneath your shade structure, light as far as the sunlight coming through, but it keeps heat and rain out. So I think that's pretty cool. Also available as a freestanding unit or a attached unit. And then the last one is called the Aria, the shade trellis. So this is more of the traditional pergola style patio structure. Again, available as a freestanding or an attached unit. One thing I will point out, and when we measure these units or when we price these units, the pricing is done and the sizing is done post to post. So for example, if this is probably, let's see if we can find a different example. Let's go back. Maybe we can't. We'll just pretend like this one. So let's pretend like this is from the house to this post is 10 feet. And from this post to that post is 30 feet. So this would be a 10 by 30 as far as the sizing and the pricing goes. But the actuality is it's really 11 because there's a 12-inch overhang on the front and there's a 12-inch overhang on each end. So the roof size is going to be 11 by 32, but the actual quoting size and the size for pricing is 10 because it's from house to post is 10 plus from post to post is 30. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm sure I'll get questions about it and we'll answer them. So why Renaissance? It's a real product. It's designed and engineered as a system. It's engineered by location based on weather service data for wind speed and snow load, which obviously doesn't matter to us in Florida, but they actually take historical data to gather calculations for wind speed and they engineer and build them based on that. So an installation right on the ocean might the actual project right on the ocean might cost a few dollars more than one inland based on how much extra support it needs based on the wind speed. So they also provide engineered plans. And if you need your local engineer to stamp them, then all it's got to do is stamp them. Manufactured in Florida by Lansing Building Products, designed for Florida weather. And just as a comparison, on the left is the Renaissance material, which is 0.060 thickness versus what typically is done, which is called a roll formed standard aluminum, which is 0.024. So you can see quite a bit thicker, quite a bit stronger. So aluminum is twice as thick. They can either be 4-inch post or 6 by 6-inch post, depending on location and what's required. So that's all done when we do the engineering and those calculations. Some really nice fasteners and hardware. This is a cross section of the Elite style roof, which is your insulated roof. Has gutter system on 3 sides of it that are integrated. Comes with the downspouts. It's compliant with Miami-Dade requirements, and it's pretty easy to price out. We have over on the left, we have what we call a cheat sheet, which gets you in the ballpark. And then, but as I said, each job is priced out based on location and real weather data. So once you tell me or your sales rep what the location is and what size and which model, give us some specifics about the installation, then we are going to do a customized quote just for you. So over on the left here, let's just take a look at one of these examples. If we were doing a 10-foot by 10-foot Moderna, which is the least expensive model, the dealer costs suggested to you, well, not suggested, the dealer cost you would pay is about $2,300. Okay. But then if it was, a bigger unit and we know the address and we know all the information about it, then we're going to do a specific quote based on location, and they're going to take into account all those weather information and wind speed information is really the most important thing. Okay. And then last but not least, I think I wanted to talk about some cool new things that we've just started working on, which is provided to us by a company called Parquet Outdoor Surfaces. And they do siding, decking, artificial turf, and porcelain pavers. I don't know about you guys, but I have seen, 3 or 4 houses in my neighborhood that are now installing artificial turf in the backyard. And, who would have thought, right? But it seems like it's certainly gaining in popularity. So why don't you take advantage of the gaining in popularity offered as part of your services? So this company is called Parquet, as I say. And there's many advantages to artificial turf. I'm not going to read them to you. You guys can probably figure them out. You don't have to mow the grass anymore. That's a pretty big advantage. No need for sprinkling. Not a whole lot of maintenance. The grass doesn't die, so I mean, there you go. The benefit to this particular company, in our opinion, is that it's a very easy, very easy to get into. The material comes in a 15-foot roll, and it's 100 feet long, but you only have to buy 10 feet at a time. So you don't have to buy the whole roll. And that can be pretty big. So there's a whole lot less waste. I mean, if you're a huge consumer and doing tons and tons of jobs of artificial turf, buying a roll at a time probably is no big deal to you. But if you're kind of new into the game and you had to buy the whole roll, it might be kind of cost prohibitive. So this is kind of a cool thing. Very small minimum purchase of 150 square feet. They also have all the installation materials, and they are also going to be providing us with installation contractors that can, facilitate that part of it. So basically, you would be selling the project based on the pricing we would give you, and based on an estimated installation cost, and that would be how that would work. So the rough pricing for the dealer is about $3 a square foot for the material, and the labor is about the same. So it's pretty cool. And this is a note from the vendor that says over the last 2 years, their average order was about $5,600 at cost, which means those projects are, in the $10,000 to $12,000 range. And most of their contractors their customers are making between 25 and 30% margins. So it's pretty nice profit. Here's some pictures of their material in action. Everyone knows what artificial turf looks like. Obviously, it's come a long way from when it started, I think in the 80s or maybe even the 70s. It looks a lot more realistic now and natural. They also have these, which I think are super, super cool. These are resin decking tiles. So the idea is that you take a existing lanai, like over on the left there, which has either just concrete or maybe acrylic texture on it, and you jazz it up. You put these composite decking tiles down on it, and it looks like over there on the right-hand side. There's another example down at the bottom. Looks like this may be somebody's showroom, but the idea is that you can really jazz it up. So let's go back to this slide. And they're designed to be used right out of the box. There's no installation tools required. They basically snap together. If you kind of see these little tabs on the edges here, kind of like a male-female type of system where they just kind of snap together. They have lots of different sizes available. They have all the trims and reducer pieces available. It's less expensive than traditional wooden deck, and tiles are very, very low maintenance compared to the wooden deck. You don't have to retreat them because it's a composite material. And they're about $3 a square foot too-ish. So there's your befores and afters. And here's one more thing that's pretty cool. The same type of material, a composite material, or epoxy resin material, but now used in a vertical application. So on the side of a house, or more exciting to me, is as a roof or ceiling, should say, on an outdoor lanai patio. I think that's super, super cool. You see that these boards are held together with a little clip system. Go back to this one, you can kind of see the aluminum clip. So you install the clip, and then the pieces of material, snap into the little clips. That keeps it properly spaced and gives it some expansion and contraction room. And these are about $3.50-ish a linear foot, just as a general guideline. So you can also use them on outdoor kitchen cabinetry. Looks nice. Here's some other additional applications. There's one with an outdoor kitchen that they went up and down versus horizontally. And also porcelain pavers. Now, our partners at Stone Hardscapes are now importing porcelain pavers, and that's the hottest new trend in outdoor pavers. These are very large formats, 12 by 12s. They're 12 by 24, 24 by 24, and even 24 by 48. That's 2 feet by 4 feet. That's a big paver. Benefits to porcelain pavers are they're very consistent color because it's a man-made product versus a natural stone. So, you know, we have some customers who don't understand the beauty and benefit of natural stone. They're looking for something more consistent. Well, this would be up their alley. These are 2 centimeters thick. So that is about 3/4 of an inch. For all of us, you know, USA kind of people, we don't know anything about the metrics, but we know that's about 3/4 of a centimeter. Sorry, 3/4 of an inch. They are recommended to be mud set, meaning there should be a concrete foundation. So you pour a concrete deck and then you put these pavers on top of it. So that is a downside because it does increase the cost of the project and installation. Material cost is very, very similar to natural stone, but because it's a new product and it has a higher perceived value, you can certainly sell it for a lot more than you're currently selling a natural stone deck for. And when you sell it for more and it costs about the same, that's better for you, right? Better profit margin. So who's ready to sell outdoor living? Everybody, right? Think so. All right. Well, I think I'm good. If everybody else is good, appreciate you guys spending your lunch hour with me.
Thank you. Have a good day.
All right. Bye-bye.